हाय दोस्तों, welcome to the Great Tech, and now we are going to discuss another questions, and that is, you can see guys, right? So this is kind of, I think, a moderate level question, below moderate, but it is up to a basic question. So here the question is, it is like we have a numeric string, okay? So it will be like this. So you have a numeric string and you have to get the substrings of these numbers, but the string should be in like where the uh, like the dish, like it is all, if you see, it is starting with the ascending order, but at some point they are like going to be breaking this ascending order rule, and then some other value, right? So here if you see, like for this input I should get in like this. Okay, so if you see 1 2 3, these are in ascending order, then I got 8. Okay, so 8 should not, 8 is not kind of in the same order, right? So we have to have different. Then again, if you see here, if after 8 I got 6 7 and right. So this is, but 6 7 is following the ascending order rule. So now again we should get like another kind of string of it. Then again, if I move to the 0 9, it is also like kind of ascending order rule following, right? So 2 6 also, and then 5 is going to be alone, and then 2 6, right? So suppose here, if here after this, suppose after this I got like 6 7 8 9. So at last we should get entire this to like the result should be 2 7 8 9. Okay, so this is the result we are expecting, and at last we need to, whatever the number of we have got, the substring, it should return the length of it. Okay, so both output we need the substrings as well as uh, the length of it. Okay guys, so I think you have understood the questions. Okay, so now let's define, uh, let's solve it. Okay, so let's define a function that get substring. Okay, and we are passing st, that is the string, and yeah, and we are returning the I would say a list of the substring and the length of this substring. Okay, so this we have defined our main objective, guys, right? Now let's move to how like the logic, what should be the logic, right? So as you see, so we have to find a triggering point where the ascending order strip like going to be end. Okay, so how, like in these kind of problems we have to think of how we can start. Okay, so there are many ways, like you can find, like use the brute force methods, or kind of any like heap kind of method. So where you have to, like both, as you know, both has like heap has advantage over like the worst case scenario, right? If you are using one for loop, you will be getting suppose on. Okay, so on time, like it is the worst case scenario of their time complexity. But if you are using brute force and you're applying suppose more than one for loop, two for loop, so it will be on square. Okay, so you have to like in the interview also, you have to keep these things all also in the mind. Okay, because if you are creating a program that is going to be like hampering either in the space complexity or in the time complexity, they generally don't consider that like efficient programmer. Okay, so I would say, so now the logic is like here you have like just think of, there is some start point, like from where we have to do the start, right? So once we got the start point, okay, so suppose it start is like the first value of it, right? So whatever the num string we have, so if, the starting point of it. Okay, so 0 index. Now after that, what we have to do, we have to move until unless uh, the like the whenever we move to next point, so the next value will be always going to greater, right, to previous one. So this will be follow the ascending order. And at suppose if we reach at a point where the like the you are like breaching the ascending order rule. So like suppose at the point of 8 and 9, right, after 8 either less than. So what we have to do, we have to find like we can then like that trigger point we can break off it. Okay, so in that trigger, like we have to find that trigger point, and after finding the trigger point, we have to get the string from the start, like from where we have started until where we have triggered that, right? So this is the, suppose for example, this is the like kind of for this input, this is going to be here to one output again. So now here if you see, we have to take a temporary variable, right? So how will you think of what, like how many numbers of variable you have to take and how you can solve the problem and all. So you have to just think of it. Okay, so I got this problem. Okay, so I have something that will be moving each time. Okay, once we moving and we have to checking that, okay, if it is greater than not, wherever it is failing, I found that, okay, this is the triggering point, so I can subtract, like I can get that substring. Next part, I again I have to move that temp from like here to and move to again. If it is again breaking, then we have to. So in this way, guys, we are going to be like having one kind of temporary variable or kind of a pointer, you can say, which will be moving, and it will be trying to get the triggering point where it is not following the ascending order rules. Okay, so I would say let's go to the declare like the development part. So here what we can say, so here guys, I am going to solve this using key value pairing method, and how let me like you will get it. Okay, so how it will help you, so I don't have to look into again and again. Wherever I have break the, I will be having key pair of it. Okay. So key will be any key we can have, because we don't going to mind, because key is not going to play any role. But the value that we are going to associate it, definitely that is going to be playing a role, right? Okay. So using the so we will use that. So let's define any substring. Okay. So suppose it is substr, and we define as a key value pair. So in Python, as you can define as a like dictionary. Okay, now next point is like I mentioned that, right, you have to have one start point, right? So let's start define a start, and start should be whatever the string you are getting, st of 0th. Okay, you are the 0th, right? And next part is like I mentioned that there is one temporary variable that will be each time going to compare with the each value of this string integer, like we converted to the integer, and we will compare it if it is greater than or not. Okay, so here what we have to do is like we are just going to in initial part, we just going to convert into the our the start. Okay, so I will be going to convert start into the integer part so that we can make the comparisons. Okay, so now as we got that, so this is the our basic variable we requiring, right? So apart from that, if we are getting anything we need, right, we can define later. Okay, so now the next part is like I have defined the variable. I know the where we are going to move and what things going to be like the in that what things going to be taking part of it, right? So now next part, you know that, right? From now I have to move from the entire string, right? So for that we have to have one for loop, right? So suppose I wrote a for loop, and I am making it to into the range of, sorry, a range of, and I, because I have already taken the starting point, so I can use directly from 1, and it will be going to the length of st. Okay, so now we have there. Okay, now the condition that I already mentioned, I have to check if whatever the first we have defined temp, I have to check if the temp is less than whatever the next value I am getting, right? So from 1 it will be starting, so string it will be starting from the 2. Okay, so here it will be the kind of st of like the I will like we have to convert int also. So int of st of ith. So now in this, as guys, you are getting right. So here I am just converting the, I got the first value 1 into 10. The next I am starting from the 2 to here I will go. Okay, but at the first station I will get 2. Okay, at I is equal to 1, right? So once I got this, uh, so I will converting into int, I will comparing. So this will help me to, okay, so it is following the ascending order rule. Once I got that, I don't have to do anything, just I have to move on my temp variable to that. Okay, so my temp variable will be now become to this entire this part, right? So now I have moved to the our value 2 at 2. Okay, so this is the going to be it will follow until we are going to reach a triggering point. Suppose this condition falls, suppose I reach after here, right, at 8. So at 8 it will be going to be like it will be going to fail. So now I will be adding else part. So in the else part, what I will be doing, still I will be doing this, like the I will be moving my temp variable, that is kind of working as a like the pointer that is moving. And then what I can do, I just how I will like use this. So I will update this. Okay, so I will update this. There is like you, if you guys have like aware of the how the Python dictionary work, we can directly we can use a update method of it, and there we have to provide a key, and with respect to that we have to whatever the value you are going to like to pass into it, right? So the value will be going to be like the from starting to our where we have find the triggering point, right? So now here we can say st, and starting point it should be 0, right? So I have to define one more value variable that should be, I would say, step. Okay, so step is equal to 0. So I got step till I have to, where till I have to move, I have to move whatever the current I value, right? And okay, so key here k, I have to define k also, right? K here, guys, nothing, it is kind of key value pairing will be happening, though we are not going to like have like the k is not going to play any role, but for the sake of the creating a dictionary we have to have it. Let's define k and just define it from 1 or 0, right, guys? It is not going to matter. So now the pair will be kind of here will be, so the first pair will be kind of like this. Okay, so let me just sorry, so it will be kind of here, it will be, suppose k is equal to 0, then it got, and it got the entire value, so it will be kind of okay, so it will be from here to, and it will be 1 2 3 4 5 9. Okay, so and next part, once again it comes, I will be, I have to move this k, so k should k plus 1, it should be. And guys, this is the same thing, k is equal to k plus 1, both are the same thing. And next part we have to, okay, so step also, right, we guys, we have to like move our step whatever the current I is, right? So because till from where we have to read, and from like we got the length of like entire the triggering point string, right? Now the steps again for the next substring should be start from here, right? So that's what I'm doing. So here I'm just moving my value to that part. Okay, so now it has moved to the step will be, so now next time where it will break in, then again it will be going to get updated. So in this way, guys, as you can get that, right? So here if you see, okay, everything I seems to be okay, guys, here whatever we have defined here, we have to make some change here, because like I have used the key map, right? So we can also get the list of the value also, values of it. Okay, so here what we can do, we can define list of whatever the substring variable we have defined. And if there is a method, guys, if we use okay, if I kind of like there is a key value method that if you try to, there are three major methods. Suppose I define any like the dictionary and dot the items. If I do so, I will getting the key value pair of both. Okay, but if I do only dot keys, so I will be only getting keys list of that dictionary. If I do only values, so I will be getting entire list of the like the all the values only. Okay, so I will be using that only values. So I will be getting all the values. And here once I get this, the same thing I have to like, I need to use this also here. Otherwise we can have one variable, so they are going to be do the same thing. So otherwise you can both way you can do that, right? Okay guys, there is one thing you will I will like let you know later. So you will be let's first run this and you will get one thing, and you will like observe one thing it is missing. So I will adding that part, and this uh, I will actually, that is very tricky part, and that is also like you will you can use and you can know the like the you will be able to know the new feature of for loop. Okay, so suppose this is and again I define to call it. So let's print get, and here I pass the above string. Okay guys, let me run it. Take time. Wait a second guys, let it run. I think my net is slow kind of. Okay, it got executed. Let me run this. Okay guys, so if here see, I got 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? So here the trick part that guys you can see here, right? So I got till 9, then 8, then 6 7, then 0 9, then 26, then 5. I didn't got this output, right? So that's where I wanted to explain about that new trick. So as you guys might be knowing, there is false has like sorry for loop has one more point, because white is you are getting that. Okay, so let me explain. So once it is moving, and suppose it got at 5. Okay, so till 5 it our pointer have been 5. Okay, so now because it is 2 6 7 8 9, it is continuously following this part, right? So it is continuously updating this only. This part is not going updated because it is not for, like the failing somewhere, right? Because the already it is following the ascending order rule, right? So now once it is got completed, but it is still not get triggered this logic, like this part. So that's why it is not going to update in our. So what we can do, we can use here the else part. Okay, so the Python in Python you can along with your for loop, you can also, even while with a while loop also you can use else part. Even with the, if you are writing try catch block also, you can use the else part. Okay, so what it does is like after the for loop, what the for loop was going on, once it get completed, it will again like after that whatever the things you wanted to do, it is going to be executed, though it will be having the things in mind. Okay, so now the we will just going to write this part. Okay, so now whatever we have got till now, so we are going to just in whatever it was in the temp, like it has moved, right? So at that point here, so now our step is already there, right? Whatever have been updated there, and now the I is already, it is kind of at the length of wherever it has reached, right? So it is going to be, and k is also have been already updated. So it is kind of we are going to whatever has execution has been happened, so it is already in the consideration. And now if I write this part, so it will be having the remaining part of it, right? That is 2 6 7 8 9 will also going to come. Okay, so guys, so let me run it. and yeah, it got executed. Let me run it again, so I should get at the 7. Okay guys, as you can see it, right? I think we are almost done. Okay guys, thank you so much, and please, if it is helping, please subscribe to my channel and like it. Okay, thank you so much guys.